It's time for NFL Week 15, and we got a $50 giveaway. Let's talk some football. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back in to another episode for Just a Bet Outside. I'm your host, Steven, and we are here for Week 15 in the NFL, baby. That's right, we got a huge show for you today. It's the game bets, baby. But 4 weeks left in the NFL season. I don't know where this season is going. It is absolutely flying by. And just a heads up, there are 3 Saturday NFL games this week. So no buys, 3 Saturday games, all the rest on Sunday. So be sure to know what day your team is playing that you're betting on and things like that. So coming off another winning weekend in Week 14, as you guys know, and the player props video. If you are looking for player props, that will come out late Friday night, like always, and we are on a ridiculous 14-1 run. The only loss being Devon Achan on Monday Night Football. That one hurt. He had almost all the yards at halftime, and then the coach gave him like one more carry in the second half. That was brutal. But still, we'll take a 14-1 run on those. If you like our channel and videos, you want to support us, hit that join button down below. You can become a Jabo MVP. You get a badge, emojis, prioritized replies, shout out, just some perks from us to you. But thank you guys for the support. For everyone who has already joined as a Jabo MVP, we really appreciate it. Help support us, all the hours we put in, and the growth of this channel. You guys have heard that before, but I cannot thank you guys enough as we chase our first 18,000 subscribers, and we are very, very close. Hoping to have 20K by the end of this year. So, in this video, we got a lot to talk about. The Week 15 trends. How about 95 and 59 year to date now for the trends if you just tailed them blindly? So we got 2 more pages of some trends. And then we go over the Thursday night preview and best bet in an unbelievable matchup between the Chargers and the Raiders. And then we give you our Week 15 best bets, a trends parlay, which has now won 2 weeks in a row. And this week it is plus 548. Let's make it 3 in a row. And then we got a head to head bet between me and Ryan. And we will also be giving out $50 in the head to head bet. So be sure to stay tuned for that head to head bet and see how you can win that money. So, and then we'll finish it off with the bets recap. That's what we got for you. We got a lot of football to get into. I am excited. I'm jacked, ready to roll. But hit that like button. Leave a comment below. Help that algorithm train. Help other people on YouTube see this video. Cannot thank you guys enough for the support. This Jabo community is freaking awesome. All right, let's get into it. And it starts with the Week 15 trends. Let's talk some trends. 96 and 59 on the air. Here we go. It starts with the Thursday night football game. Raiders have gone under their team total in 11 of 13 games this year. It is set at 18.5 points right now. Vikings 12-0-1 to the first quarter under. We hit this as part of our trends parlay last week. The first quarter total right now is 7.5. Colts over their team total in all 6 home games. They are at home, and their team total is set at 21.5 this week. Titans 3-14 on the second half money line. The last 17 games, just the second half money line. That means if you want to go with that trend, that means you're taking the Texans on the second half money line at plus 105. Lions 6-0 against the spread last 6 games following a loss. I think we got a winner earlier this year on one of those trends. Detroit is -4 at home against the Broncos. Then we got the Browns 3-10-1 ATS after a win since the start of last season. That means you would have to take the Bears +3. The last one, Falcons gone under in 8 of the last 10 road games. Panthers gone under in 8 of the last 10 home games. So pretty much it's an under. Carolina is averaging 13.6 points per game at home. Falcons averaging 14.7 points per game on the road. The total is 34. Let's go check out page 2. We got the Tampa Bay Bucks 1-14 straight up the last 15 games in Green Bay. I have no idea how that would even really matter, but it's a trend. We'll just throw it out there. That means you're taking Green Bay money line, which is -180, probably a parlay piece. Chiefs Patriots combined to go under the second half total in 22 of 26 games. That is a lot. As you guys can tell, I'm not just giving out trends that are hitting at like 52% or anything. These are pretty strong trends. The total for that second half is 16.5 points. And then we got the Saints, 2-8-1 ATS as a favorite this season. The Giants are +6. That would be the bet you take if you want to go with that trend. The Rams' opponent has scored first in all 6 of their home games. That's a random one, but it's +125 if you want to pick their opponent to score first. Then the over 6-0 in Cardinals' 6 home games this year. Cowboys 11-2 to the first half total over. Sorry, first 11-2 to the over on the first half total. 24.5 points is that total. And then we finish it The home underdogs of 7+ points are 50, 30, 7-1 ATS since the start of 2020 season and 21, 10-1 against the spread since the start of last season. So those are home underdogs that are 7 or more point underdogs. And we have two of those instances. I made it easy for you guys. It's the Patriots and the Cardinals. So those are the week 15 trends. Now, before we get into that Thursday night football preview and best bet, let's talk Thrive Fantasy. There it is. Devontae Adams over a half a receiving yard. Is that free square with Thrive? Guys, 100% first deposit match up to $250. You can get $250 absolutely just given to you for just depositing your own money. And then you get Devontae Adams free square over a half a receiving yard as part of your parlay. And in order to get all this, you got to use the promo code Jabo, though. That gets you that first deposit match and this free square. You pair up Devontae Adams with another player prop, and you can make a two-leg parlay, 3, 4, or 5. That's the money you win right there. It is a great deal, guys. Not everyone out there has a deal like this where you get $250, eligible in over 30 states, but you got to use the promo code Jabo. All right, that's what I got. Now it's time to talk the huge showdown on Thursday Night Football between the Chargers and the Raiders. All right, week 15 starts out in Viva Las Vegas. We got the Raiders hosting the Los Angeles Chargers. Raiders -3, over under 34 points. This is a juicy matchup, guys. We have Easton Wooden Stick versus Aiden O'Connell. I mean, what a friggin' matchup. Justin Herbert, done for the season if you don't know that already. Before we dive into it, let's go a little ATS. Chargers 5-8 against the spread, 3-3 on the road. Raiders 6-1 ATS, 4-2-1 against the spread at home. And then over under, Chargers 10-3 to the under, Raiders 10-3 to the under. I mean, they are two of the biggest under teams in the NFL. That's why you see a 34 total. That and the quarterbacks. Other two teams at 10-3 to the under. The only ones that are better than them at being under is the Vikings and the Steelers. Just to give you some more information. Now, some notes on this game. I pretty much saw this game, checked my schedule on the Thursday night game, and my first reaction was, "Holy crap! Are you kidding me?" Like, guys, these Thursday night games have just been ugly. It has been brutal. I didn't want to bet last week Thursday's game, but I did, and we ended up losing it, I believe. It was the Patriots game. My goodness, but I got to make a best bet for this game. It's non-playoff teams. We still got to get it done. The Raiders coming off an embarrassing offensive performance, scoring 0 points. That's right. They scored the same amount of points as we did against the Vikings at home. Chargers coming off a 24-7 loss against the Broncos. Both teams are 5-8 on the season. Chargers maybe had a hope for the playoffs until last week when they lost Herbert and lost the game. Injuries in this game: Keenan Allen questionable, Jared Everett questionable, Josh Jacobs questionable, Max Crosby, the great pass rusher for the Raiders, questionable. So four of the better players in this game are questionable when there's not that many great players already. So if I had to pick a side, what I would do is I'd flip a coin and probably do best of five. So do that. Heads, Chargers, tails, Raiders, maybe something like that. That'd be my tip for you on the side. But my best bet this game: don't laugh at me. Okay, you cannot laugh at me. I feel as confident as I can about a bet. I am taking Easton Stick over 185 and a half passing yards at -113 on FanDuel. It's around -190 on DraftKings, so it's good value, I guess. We'll call it that for Easton Stick. Um, but yes, I am betting on him. Mr. Wooden Stick. I have not watched any film on them. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna sit up here and say I know a ton about this guy. I just know he won a lot of Division II titles with North Dakota State, so he must be decent. I think that might be where Carson Wentz came from as well, if I remember right. But anyways, this number is low, guys. He's an NFL quarterback. Well, we think he is. 185 and a half passing yards. Okay, he came in halfway through or so last week and threw for 179 yards against the Broncos. He's a quarterback who knows how to throw a little bit, and this is really all we know about him. Okay, about Mr. Wooden. He came in and did well against the Broncos. He won 2 national titles. He threw for 233 yards in a preseason game. Does that matter? Probably not at all. But these are all the only things we know about him. And we know that he's facing the Raiders, who are okay against the pass, but this is a Raiders team that gave up 263 to Zach Wilson, 200 to the combo of Daniel Jones and Danny DeVito, and then 272 to Goff recently. So it's not like they're just shutting quarterbacks down. The Chargers also are really bad at running the ball, so they're going to have to throw it. I mean, his pass attempts line is set at 30 and a half. That's them saying he's going to throw at least 30 times this game, and he only has to throw for 186, guys. We're not asking for the world here. And another thing that's kind of important a little bit is that's a new quarterback. You've seen a lot of new quarterbacks kind of come in and do well right off the bat because nobody knows what to expect. Right now, the Raiders are preparing for Easton Stick, thinking, I have no idea what to do. Like, we're going to watch his college film, I guess, but they don't know exactly, his tendencies and things like that, which can help Stick a little bit. That's just weird, Stick. And the biggest thing, if you're a hockey player, guys, here's what you get to do on Thursday Night Football. For the first time in your life, you can sit on the couch, you can hold an Easton hockey stick on your lap, and root for Easton Stick. Never again will that happen. That's pretty exciting. Gimme Stick for the win. Now, for the rest of the best bets for week 15, we start out in good old Los Angeles. We got the Rams hosting the Washington Commanders. Rams minus 6.5, over under 50.5 points. Against the spread, Commanders 5-7-1 ATS, 5-2 ATS on the road, playing better on the road. Rams 7-5-1 ATS on the year, 3-3 at home. Over under, Commanders 8-5 to the over. Rams are 7-6 to the under. A couple big injuries. Brian Robinson, the running back for the Commanders, is questionable. And then Tutu Atwell and Tyler Higbee are questionable for the Rams. I'm going to get right into the best bet on this game, and it's a team total. Give me that Rams team total over 27.5 at minus 130 on DraftKings. You can get around minus 105, minus 110, standard juice at 28.5. I'm going to go back one. 28 is a key number. I don't really think we're going to need it, to be honest. And these juicy odds really only matter if you lose your bet. And I don't plan on losing this one. So this Commanders team, defense especially, is absolutely awful, atrocious, horrendous, whatever adjective you want to use. They have given up the most pass yards and the most points in the NFL, giving up 30.4 points per game. They struggle to shut down teams when those teams have good pass offenses, obviously, because their secondary, they just literally can't stop anybody. Their last two games versus the Cowboys and Dolphins, they each scored 45 points on them. 45. Again, I only need 28 in this game. The week before that, before they played the Cowboys and Dolphins, they played the Giants. Giants scored 24 offensive points, 31 overall due to a pick six, I believe. And Danny DeVito threw for 3 touchdowns on them. Guys, this Commanders team cannot stop anybody. Now, they're going to face a Rams offense who has a top 10 pass offense. And it's just not a good matchup. And we're talking Puka Nacua, Cooper Kupp, and Matthew Stafford. No team has given up more receiving yards to wide receivers than the Commanders. I think those two guys are going to have a day. This Rams offense is also rolling right now. They've played two of the best defenses in the league the last 2 weeks, in the Ravens and the Browns. And they scored 31 and 36. And now they get the Commanders. What a step down in competition. And also, a little side note, Sam Howell has also thrown 14 interceptions. He could very well throw a pick six, which helps us, obviously, or just throw a couple picks in general and give him some good field position to get some points. Give me the Rams to score 28 plus. I think they get to 30 plus as my first best bet of the Sunday, week 15. All right, this next one takes us out to New Orleans. We got the Saints hosting the New York Giants. Saints minus 6, over under 39.5 points. Giants 5-7-1 ATS, 3-4 on the road. Saints 3-9-1 ATS, and including a 1-5 against the spread at home, the second worst home against the spread team in the NFL. Over under, Giants 9-4 to the under, Saints 9-4 to the under. So these two teams play a lot of unders. I'm going to give right in my best bet in this one because it's a side. Give me the Giants plus 6 at minus 110. I think it's too many points, guys. I really do. If I just said to you, hey, the Giants beat the Saints this weekend, I don't think it would really surprise anybody. So, because nobody thinks the Saints are that great. They're like 6-7 right now, still battling for the division technically, but that's just because their division's terrible. And Tommy DeVito, he's kind of woken this offense up a little bit. In 4 starts, he has a 66% completion rate, 8 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, and he uses his legs well. He has 151 rush yards. He's a leader. He's kind of just becoming this world known phenomenon. Him and his dad and all that. It's pretty cool to see, but he has lifted this offense a little bit. And the Giants have now won 3 straight games over the Commanders, Patriots, and Packers. So they are not just a doormat of the NFL anymore. And the Saints are just not, in my opinion, really that strong and that good enough to run away from a team to win by 7 or more points. Except for the Panthers. That's obviously they beat the Panthers, but everybody does that. Chris Olave, Taysom Hill are also questionable. 2 huge parts to this offense. Derek Carr has broken ribs. It sounds like he gets 1 or 2 more broken ribs every week. You can tell it hasn't been pretty. Even when he was healthy, he's been inconsistent this year. And the Giants' defense is playing better, rallying around DeVito also. And I just like the Giants to at least. I mean, this looks like a field goal game to me, to be honest with you. I wouldn't be shocked if the Giants win. Maybe sprinkle on their money line. And then finally, I can't express this enough, guys. Brian Daboll is a much, 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 much better coach than Dennis Allen. I don't think Dennis Allen has a job after this year. So I'm going to take the better coach, the team that's won 3 in a row that doesn't have a hurt quarterback. Give me the Giants +6 with a little sprinkle on the money line. All right, my next best bet is the game of the week, baby. We got the Buffalo Bills hosting the Dallas Cowboys. Bills -2, over under 50.5 points. Against the spread, Cowboys 9-4 ATS. They are the number 1 against the spread team in the NFL, but they're 3-3 against the spread on the road. Bills 5-8 against the spread, 3-3 at home. Over under, a little bit different. Cowboys 8-5 to the over, Bills 9-4 to the under. My best bet in this game, I'm not even taking the points. I am taking the Bills money line, -125 on DraftKings. Now, you could take the -2, obviously, get a little bit better, -110. But when it comes to that, if I'm getting -125, sometimes even -130, I don't want to mess with if they win a 1 or 2 point game and you lose it. I just like to take the money line on this. So, both teams coming off big wins last week. Cowboys are a much different team. We know that at home than on the road, but they just beat the Philadelphia Eagles at home last week. At home, they averaged 39.9 points per game, the number 1 offensive league. And then they go on the road, they average 23.3 points per game. It is drastic, guys. And the Bills, like the Cowboys, play much better offensively at home, too. And luckily, they will be at home. They average almost 30 points per game at home compared to 24.3 on the road. Not as big or drastic as the Cowboys, but they do play better at home. And now, instead of playing in the comfy old Jerry's World in Dallas, they now have to travel to Buffalo, New York, where it is really freaking cold. 25 degrees at kickoff. That's going to be a little change of pace for this Cowboys team. The Bills easily could have a 9-4 record. They've lost some really tough games. Woulda, coulda, shoulda. I get that, but I'm just saying they're not exactly a 7-6 team that's falling apart. It hasn't looked as good as we'd like it to look this year, or at least as most people thought. But this is still a good team. And NFL to me is about trends and scheduling spots as part of it. It's not all about that. And this is a bad spot for Dallas. Like I said, they just had an emotional home divisional win over the Eagles, a team they're trying to beat and for that NFC East. And now they have to travel to go play an AFC team in cold Buffalo, a team that's fighting for their playoff lives, and the Buffalo Bills too. So just a reminder, Cowboys on the road this season lost to the Cardinals, got crushed by the 49ers, barely beat a bad Chargers team on a last-second field goal, and lost to the Eagles. This is not a great road team, guys. They're Jekyll and Hyde when it comes to home and away. I think the Bills win this game outright, obviously with the money line. I do think they cover the 2 if you do want to take that, but this is my best bet and third and final bet. Now, let's go check out Ryan's best bet.
All right, here we go. Got to win last week, so let's get rolling. Got to get this right. Now, I'm going with the same game as Steven. Cowboys and Bills, huge game, primetime game basically. I'm going to go with the under 50.5 at -110. Now, like Steven was saying, the Cowboys really struggle when they're not at Jerry World. The controlled AC, temperatures, Texas, all those things, home field. Now, they're going to Buffalo. Man, cold weather, potentially windy, just not a good look. Also, they just got a big win, like Steven was saying, with those Eagles. Now, away. The Cowboys only scored 16 points against the Cardinals. Not a great defense. 10 points against the 49ers. 20 points against the Chargers. Once again, terrible defense. 23 points against the Eagles. And 33 points against the Panthers. Now, they scored a decent amount of points, but some of those came off of defense as well. So, it's not all offense putting up points there. Now, the Cowboys on defense, man, they are a very good defense, especially against the pass. 39 sacks, 13 interceptions, a 60.2 completion percentage against the Cowboys. Man, they are locking down those receivers, and they're the 5th best passing yards for defense. Just unreal passing, and that's huge against the Bills because the Bills, they do not run the ball very well. They love to pass, and Josh Allen does not know how to keep the ball on his team. He throws a lot of picks. He's thrown 14 picks already, and Cowboys like to pick it off. So I see an interception coming. So the last 2 games for the Cowboys, Dak Prescott, he's been knocked around some in the pocket, been hit, sacked, all those things. The Bills, they get after the quarterback as well. 42 sacks. They also have 12 interceptions, so they play pretty decent against the pass. Nothing special as far as yards and completion percentage, but do a good job, like I said, getting pressure on the quarterback, and pressure on quarterback's tough. I think this is going to be a tight game, very close to the chest. You're not going to try and throw the ball over the field in a whole bunch of yards just because it's a big game, big spot for both teams. So Weather's going to control it some with the cold weather. Going to run the ball, even though I don't think they're going to have a bunch of success, but that's what they're going to need to do because both these defenses are pretty legit, especially against the pass. One of my last notes, the Bills have gone under 50.5, 9 out of 13 of the games this season, so pretty impressive. So my best bet is under the 50.5 at minus 110. Now, Steven, let's go to you and the Trends Parlay.
All right, can we make it 3 Trends Parlay winners in a row? Here we go. I got the under 34 in Atlanta, Carolina, under 7.5 first quarter Minnesota, Cincy, and Bears +3. Put those three together for a juicy +548. I'm only going to briefly talk about each one. The under 34 in the Falcons, Panthers. If you skipped our trends and fast forwarded this part, you probably don't know what I'm talking about. But the trend on this one, the Falcons under an 8 of 10 road games, the Panthers and under an 8 of 10 home games. Real quick, these are two bad offenses, two surprisingly decent defenses. At least when the Panthers are at home, they play better defense. Probably why they've been going under quite a bit. And then we know Desmond Ridder just struggles on the road, and this Falcons offense in general struggles on the road. I told you how many points each team is averaging at home and away. 34 is low, but I could see a 17-10 type game and stay under this one. Next one, under 7.5 in the first quarter in the Minnesota Cincy game. We did this in the Trends Parlay last week, and the total score of the game was 3-0. Absolutely bonkers. Trend here, Vikings 12-0-1 to the first quarter under. It's Vikings versus Bengals. Here's my analysis. I hope that neither team or both teams together don't score more than 7 points. That's all I got, guys. It's a first quarter. We need a little luck. So hopefully they stay under 7.5 in the first quarter. Final one, Bears +3. Now the trend on this one, Browns 3-10-1 against the spread after a win since the start of last year. I almost made this a best bet for myself. So if you want to do that, if you're already leaning Bears or anything like that, this is a good single bet by itself. It was at 3.5, went down to 3, so I kind of just stayed away. But I like the Bears here. They've been playing well. I bet them last week. People thought I was crazy. Took the points against the Lions. They won easily outright over the Lions last week. Their defense has been legit. We're talking number 1 rush defense in the league. Jalen Johnson at corner, like I mentioned before, they just have a good defense. Montez Sweat come over and has really helped them out. Bad weather means maybe more of what we saw last week. Justin Fields moving with his legs, and they're playing the Browns, guys. Joe Flacco is going to be pretty much a statue back there. He cannot use his legs at all. Now, Joe Flacco has played well. Yes, my twin has played pretty decent. He's negotiating a contract for the rest of the season, I think, right now. But I think the Bears keep this one close. I think both teams might not score a ton of points. It's going to be cold weather, and Bears +3. I'll take it. Obviously, it's a push if it's a field goal, but Bears have a chance to win. They're playing well. There's still outside chance at trying to get a playoff spot. So, give me the Bears +3, and those are the 3 legs of the Trends Parlay. And now it's time for that $50 giveaway and the head-to-head bet. All right, here we go. It's time for the $50 giveaway and the head-to-head bet. I am 7-5 against Ryan. That's right. Dug out of that little early season slump, and I am back. Now, $50 giveaway, guys. This is huge. And this is just a little way of we like to give back to you guys for all the support. In order to win, you have to put a comment below and put Team Steven or Team Ryan based on what team you are on, and we will pick one comment from the winning team. So here we go. The game we're talking about is on Saturday night primetime. The Broncos at the Lions. The Lions are -4 at home against Denver, and I have the Detroit Lions -4. The team I faded last week, I now have the Lions -4. Give Ryan the Broncos +4. Yeah, buddy. So real quick before Ryan talks, Steven is spelled with a PH. And Ryan is spelled Loser, if you're just wondering how to spell that. So, Ryan, why the Broncos?
Well, first off, I knew you were going to come up with some smart aleck comment about me and potentially my record and our relationship. But anyways, I digress from that. The Broncos, they got Russell Wilson, who obviously I'm not a huge fan of, don't like, but he does have playoff experience. I know this isn't playoff, but this is playoff time. The Chiefs have been struggling. The Broncos see that. They want to chase them and get ahead and get first place in that division. Sean Payton's also been in these positions. So these two are just very experienced in this environment. Dan Campbell, your guys' head coach, the Lions head coach, I mean, he's feisty in those things, but experience outweighs this. So the Broncos have been playing very well defensively. Russ has been doing all right, and I think they can just get the job done here and make you look foolish today.
Okay, that's all you got? Okay. Not bad. That was a solid effort, but I will say this, guys. We saw the trend. The Lions know how to bounce back after loss. They've done it all season long. They are great after loss, but they're also much better at home. They average 28.7 points per game at home. And the matchup I love here is the Lions running game versus the Broncos bottom 3 run defense. I think the Lions are going to push this team around a little bit, really impose the will running the ball. The Broncos have been better defensively against the pass. I will admit that. But I think the Lions get back to Lions football. Don't rely just on Jared Goff. They get the running game going. They take care of business. They win by 5 or more points. Give me the Lions. Move me to 8-5. Yes, we did miss a week or two, in case you're wondering why the record does not match up exactly. But that's what I got, Ryan. Is that a winner or what? What do you think?
No, four is too much. I can see the Lions kicking a field goal at the win to win it, and we still cash on my side on this bet. Like, no, just not liking it. And then the Lions, they're scared of these Packers. This Packers team is nipping at their heels, going to take over the division, and the Lions are scared and going to flounder. Just wait for it. They're going to pull a Lions. This is what Detroit and the Lions do. They just know how to, mess it up towards the end of the season.
Have you ever watched any National Geographic show or zoo? Lions aren't afraid of anything. They are the king alpha.
Oh, okay.
Friggin' love me some Lions. Anyways, I got the Lions, guys. A big decision for you. Team Steven or Team Ryan, if you want a chance to win the $50 giveaway for the Week 15 head-to-head bet. Again, Steven spelled with a PH, because I know most of you will be writing that one down. So that's what we got for the head-to-head bet and Week 15 in the NFL. Let's check out the bets recap. All right, we start out with the man, the myth, the legend, Easton Stick. Over 185.5 passing yards on Thursday Night Football. Then Rams team total over 27.5 at minus 130 on DraftKings. Again, I don't mind 28.5 at around minus 105, 110. And then New York Giants +6 at minus 110 on FanDuel. Maybe a sprinkle on the money line. And then the Bills money line over the Dallas Cowboys at minus 125. And then that trends parlay. Can we make it 3 in a row? The under in the Carolina Atlanta game, under first quarter in the Cincy Minnesota, and the Bears +3 at plus 548. Then we move over to Ryan's bet. See if we can make it 2 in a row. He's going under 50.5 in the Dallas and Buffalo game. That's right. We got 2 bets in that game. That's at minus 110. And then the head-to-head bet, the big one, the $50 giveaway. I got the Lions -4. Ryan, Broncos +4. I am 7-5 on the season. Ryan is trying to claw his way back at 5-7. The player props for NFL Week 15 that we're on a 14-1 run on. They will be out late Friday night, like always. And thank you guys for the support. We will have an NBA video out here pretty shortly for the Thursday games. Let's keep grinding. Let's keep rolling. That Discord community is up to over 2,200 people. It is free to join. There's a lot of good help there, live betting during NBA games and things like that. So thank you guys for the support. I really appreciate it. Let's see if we can hit 18,000 subscribers today. Hope everyone has a great day, and we'll talk to you soon.